Metaphorically, I ask you to fasten your seatbelt. Why? Danger, adventure, thrill, like going up a very steep hill. Some of us sit rigid, we're afraid. Some of us raise our hands in anticipation. Some of us cover our eyes and bury our faces. We don't want to see trees become small, cars look like ants. Things we once thought we knew change, deconstruct, reappear. Metaphorically, I ask you to fasten your seatbelt. Come along with me. We're going on a ride deep inside our heart. Taste, see, smell. No. My mind is completely made up. My mind was completely made up. When it came to the subject of God, there were so many. Therefore, there was none. Become a Christian? Something I never dreamed of, conceived, or considered. How could I? Beyond imagination. Why would I? Absurd. Now, I remember the first words I spoke as a Christian, and they will always be significant to me, not because of what I said, because of who I spoke them to. Becoming Christian, oh Lord, is to come to know you. More mysterious than the dawn, unique as my fingerprint, most intimate, deepest, personal part of my being, my essence, my center, prayer. Now filled with a new kind of fear and trembling, for the first time in my life, fully known. Being Christian is like taking wedding vows, faithfulness, commitment to love, honor, and cherish, to listen, to enjoy, and to obey. Being Christian is the ultimate gift of mercy from the best friend I never knew I had. Being Christian is so difficult, it's impossible, humanly impossible. Being Christian, Lord, is a constant turning to you. I wrote a vocation prayer. Let my work begin the moment I wake up. May I never take my eyes off you. Let my work continue throughout the night. Instruct me while I sleep. By the power of your Holy Spirit, guide me and keep me faithful to your calling. My calling, Lord, is you, to turn every moment to you, my leader, my all in all. Help me, Father, in this work I do. Have I gone nuts? Am I completely out of my mind? You know, when it comes to the subject of God, there's no amount of skepticism, leeriness, even queasiness we shouldn't have. Perhaps that's why the Lord said to me from the start, Danita, don't talk about me. Talk to me. What kindness, what amazing kindness. Giver of life, reason to be, give me the key, I want you. Danger and desire, more passion, consuming fire, the politics of change, I want you. Against a common enemy, set the captives free, prison walls come down, I want you. No inner place untouched, deep inside I trust. This is more than lust. I want you. Better than dreams, louder than screams. It's not what it seems. I want you. What am I doing? I'm an artist, which means I have an uncontrollable propensity to create things. What kind of things? Well, I used to be a sculptor because I took visual objects and I worked them with my hands. What do I mean, visual objects? Okay, this might sound kind of strange, but I was attracted to debris. Some people call it garbage. As such, I was a searcher, always looking. I remember one time in particular, walking up West Broadway, opposite the Triangle below Canal Street, something caught my eye. It was an old bicycle tire. I mean, there it was, nestled in the curb, buried slightly in the dust. Urban foliage to me, just waiting to be picked. I stopped, studied the lines, texture, color, took in the light, and got an idea, real strong, for a piece of art. So I just had to have it. Is this a convenient calling? No, of course not. I was all dressed up when I saw that bicycle tire. I was on my way to an art opening. I was wearing sparkles and glitter and heels, and it was messy work getting that bicycle tire. But my friend was with me, and she helped me. And when we got it, I was so excited. It forced a decision. Do I go on to the art opening or run right home to my studio, begin working? Decisions, decisions. Artists are in the business of making decisions. We make hundreds of decisions in just one part of a single piece of art. With our heart, eyes, mind, hands. Oh no, oh no. I'm digressing, aren't I? Into the subject of decisions. Do you ever find that happening to you? Especially since we have computers. It's really hard to think about one subject at a time, you know? You'd be in the middle of a conversation, all of a sudden you hit a word, it's like that little highlighter comes on. Click, zoom, wham, you're into another subject. I don't know about you, but I can't handle too many subjects at a time. So let's go back. Let's go back to the bicycle tire. And I have to make a decision. Do I go on to the opening or home to my studio, work? By the way, home, studio, they're one and the same. Work, life, it's all linked up for an artist. And that's not a bad thing. It just makes it very difficult to rest sometimes. Depending on who's in charge, it can be very difficult to rest. But let's keep on track. Let's go back to the bicycle tire, and I've made my decision. I'm going to the opening with my tire. And now my only problem is fear. Fear that when I get to the opening, there'll be lots of people there, and they'll see my bicycle tire, and they'll want it. Have I gone nuts? Am I completely out of my mind? You know, there's always the possibility of that. Artists, Christians, from the outside looking in, we can't be sure what we see. Metaphorically, I ask you to fasten your seatbelt. Come along with me. We're going for a ride deep inside my heart. After September 11th, over and over again, artists asked themselves, and we asked each other, What should we do? It was a daunting question, disarming and alarming, and it seemed to leave us dazed, shattered, feeling helpless and profoundly disturbed, and it would not go away. What should we do? And so we sat, quietly, together and alone. We sat and listened, and one by one we heard, "Do your work. Now more than ever it's important. Do your work. Artists, writers, friends, a piece of humanity has been taken from you. Art cannot recreate what is gone, but art can transform the pain. Art can reach the soul. It can speak to the heart. Do your work. It's why you're here. It's what I ask of you." I live right inside what is now called Ground Zero. I am growing with and through the pain. With every breath I take, with every thought I think, I ask, question, wonder, taste, see, smell. Was I shocked and surprised by what happened that day? Without a doubt, I was shocked by the details and surprised by the timing. But I was not shocked or surprised by the magnitude of the horror I saw. For I have experienced the enemy myself in my heart. I have heard its voice. I have seen what it can do. So no, I was not surprised. The dividing line between good and evil runs right down the center of every human heart. It is by sheer mercy I was not killed in my neighborhood that day. It is by sheer mercy I was not one of the terrorists piloting one of the planes. Terrorist, victim. I try on both in my heart. Close my eyes, be still. The heart is the last great frontier. Vast uncharted territory. It's astounding how little we know. Above all else, guard your heart. It's the wellspring of good and evil. Artists, do your work. It's why you're here. It's what I ask of you. Pause. Take a minute. Collect yourself. Breathe. Go out into space. That's important to do. Research in labs. We need every clue. Think, read, write. Search with all your might. Don't ever stop looking. Brave souls, who can accept the unknown, this land that brings life, barely explored in time, too far, too high, too wide, too deep. Dare not go it alone. The most horrible story I heard from 9/11 was from my sister-in-law, whose best friend had a 23-year-old daughter who worked on the 95th floor of Tower Number 2. She called her mom from her cell phone and said, "Mom, they're jumping out of windows. What do I do?" I myself did not know what to do several times last fall. During one of those moments in anguish, in prayer, I heard from the voice above, Danita, friendship, divine and human, friendship will get you through. And I said, Lord, I believe you, although I haven't a clue how. For deep inside, I knew I was in shambles. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. And all the king's horses and all the king's men, nothing's going to make it right again. Danita, friendship will get you through. Divine and human, friendship will get you through. And solely because of who was speaking, I whispered back by faith, I believe you. 3 little words. I believe you. Significant, true. Not because of the words, because of who I spoke them to. Metaphorically, I ask you to fasten your seatbelt. Come along with me and you will see a glimpse inside my heart. Danger, adventure, thrill. Like going up a very steep hill, things change, deconstruct, reappear. I believe you. I believe you. Seismic rift. Great plates in the center of my universe shift. To know with absolute certainty. To know. What keeps me impassioned as an artist? To know with absolute certainty, to know the magnitude of the horror, of the danger we are in. What keeps me inspired to go on? To know with absolute certainty, to know how greatly we are loved. Taste and See is dedicated to friendship. When I was unable to speak, you heard.